There is several puzzling passages involving the wizards of Pharaoh's court and their role in the plagues narrative that need to be deciphered. Moses and Aaron enter Pharaoh's palace, representing a deity foreign to Pharaoh. In order to demonstrate the power of their God, they must show their ability in the occult language of Egypt, which is magic. Pharaoh's response is understandable. His magicians can match their tricks, and they've brought nothing new to the table. When Moses and Aaron's magic proves to be stronger, Pharaoh, who should lend an attentive ear to these intruders and their demands, hardens his heart instead and refuses to listen. I don't have a problem with this. It is in the next passage, the first of the plagues, where the role of the wizards and their behavior becomes unclear and hard to decipher. Aaron had turned all the waters of Egypt to blood, and there was no way to find any water as the blood was throughout the land. What do you anticipate the wizard would do to demonstrate their magical prowess? They have to undo the plague. Rather, what they did was add to the devastation wreaked on Egypt and its economy. The next plague keeps us in the company of the wizards, functioning in an apparently parallel manner to their role in the blood plague. Moses and Aaron bring frogs, and the wizard do the same. What is the purpose of more agents of destruction and stench? More frogs. If the wizards were going to help Pharaoh, they should have removed the frogs and reversed the Hebrews' leaders' plague. Why were they replicating the destructive plague? In the final plague of the first plague cycle, where Aaron is commanded to strike his staff on the ground and bring forth lice, the wizards finally try to act in Egypt's interest to reverse the plague. They are, however, utterly unsuccessful. Now the question, why was Pharaoh's magicians replicating the destructive plagues and adding to the devastation wreaked on Egypt and its economy, rather than reversing the plagues? Son of man, what seest thou? There are several examples in Tanakh where we see interjected texts woven into narratives in order to clarify the import of a particular phrase or action. We are so accustomed to reading narratives as sequential without parenthetic statements, so it is often a challenge to recognize interjected texts. Moses and Aaron were playing on the Egyptian field of magic and black arts. To show their credentials in the same art, they began by replicating a plague already induced sometime in the past by the royal magicians. The report of the magicians turning the water into blood is not in narrative sequence, but is a parenthetic mention that this plague had already been performed in Egypt by their own wizards. Moses and Aaron continued to demonstrate their credentials by replicating a plague with which the Egyptians were familiar. The magicians were not duplicating, they were just observing. After Moses and Aaron had duplicated what the Egyptian magicians had already done in the past, proving their credentials, they lift the bar higher to demonstrate their superior power. Now the text makes the magicians both present and in the narrative shadow, conceding with the famous words, "This one is the finger of God." Let us now hear our winner, Mr. Mensa, explain this beautifully in his video answer he sent.
So on the Rabbi show, which I just heard of it today, I just only heard of it today. This is my first time seeing it. He has a show that he asks questions, and I will send this to you, Rabbi. I'm not sure where to send the answer to, so I will send it to you. Maybe in like an attachment or tag you or something, somewhere, somehow, so that you know, because I want to win that $250. I want to win, but I wanted to do the video so that people can also get to know, you know, the answer and stuff like that. So on Rabbi's show, like he asks biblical questions, and then if you get it right, you get money for it, right? And then when I saw, I was like, cool, I'm down for it, right? So the question that I saw today, which I'm hoping that, you know, that is the question that they are on right now, and not, you know, a question they've already answered previously. The question says that why were Pharaoh's wizards, you know, duplicating what Moses and Aaron were doing in terms of, you know, the water into blood and the frogs? Why were they copying that instead of reversing it? Why were they copying that, right? Because if you're looking to help Pharaoh or the Egyptians, right, you'll reverse it. You will not add to it. You will not do the same thing. So if they bring frogs and you do the same thing, well, what did you do? You should reverse it, right? So the question, why are they adding to it, right? Now, the answer to that question is what I've been telling people most of the time. When you read the Bible, you need to read the Bible in a Hebrew mindset, because the people that wrote it are Hebrews, okay? Don't read it in a Greek mindset. Don't read it like English book. That is how Christians are taught to read Bible. That is not what it says. That's why we can't see things like this, you know, in the Bible and stuff like that. And it's tricky, and I can get it. Rabbi is trying to trick us, you know, saying that why they're duplicating it. The answer to the question is, Rabbi, I'm hoping that I get this right, and I'm hoping I get this too, and I'm positive I got it. Unless somebody has answered it first and somebody has get it, I'm gonna win. The answer is they weren't duplicating it. What Abba was doing was, the Egyptians are used to black magic and, you know, those stuff. So Abba came in with something they are familiar with, something they know. So Abba is pretty much allowing Aaron and Moses to bring forth things that they are familiar with, that will even, you know, help what Abba is doing with Pharaoh. Not that he has a part to play in it, because Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and Abba helped him in that process too, right? But not that, you know, he was helping, you know, the wizards were helping by duplicating it, because they weren't. Abba was just bringing forth, you know, things that they are used to, things that they know. And so when the text says that they duplicated, it's not like they duplicated it. It's pretty much saying that they've done this before. It's not new. Like, we can do this. We've done this before. This is not new. Because when you look at the text, it says they turned all the water into blood. If they are actually duplicating it, was there any water there that is left for them to turn into blood? You get what I mean? So pretty much the wizards weren't doing nothing. They were just like, we've done this. We've done this before. Pharaoh knew, you know, they've done this before. That is not crazy, right? Because if they turn all the water into blood, well, what water is there left for them to turn into blood again? That is where sometimes you need to bring common sense into Hebrew thinking and reading the text instead of reading the text like Greek. Right? That is why it's a little bit tricky when you listen to the question. So they weren't, you know, copying that. The text is pretty much letting us know they've done this before. It's not new to them. If the frogs came all over the land, well, if they added more to it by copying that, who will actually know? Who can tell the number of frogs increased? Nobody, right? But it's pretty much saying that they've done that before. It's not new to them. It's not crazy. It's not like they can't do. So they were not necessarily copying that at that very moment. The text is pretty much letting us know that they've done this before. It's nothing crazy. But when they go to the third point, now you can hear that, you know, these wizards are saying, now this is the finger of God. Now they can tell, we can do that right there. You know, something like that. So they are not pretty much adding to it. Because you see, when they try to reverse it, when they actually try to do something, they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. They failed. Right? They couldn't reverse any of it. They failed. So pretty much they weren't adding to the plagues. It was just something that they are familiar with. So it's almost like warming up. Something like that. Like he's warming up, letting you know he's bigger than y'all, starting with what you're familiar with, and then getting you to something that you've never seen to show you he's bigger and mightier than y'all. That, you know, Moses and Aaron's God is bigger than y'all. He's just warming up, getting into your world. Letting you know that I can even do what you guys do and even better. I'm bigger than y'all, pretty much, right? Like, that is not my world, but I can do that and do that even better. With your stupid magic, I can do even better and greater and something like that. He's like warming up into their zone, something they're familiar with. So they were not necessarily adding to the plagues. They weren't doing anything. They were just pretty much, like, yeah, we've done this before. We can do that. Like, everybody's aware of that. We've done this. So this might have happened in their history before, that they've done this before. They weren't doing it instantly. They weren't doing it right then. Because when they tried one that they wanted to reverse it right then, they couldn't do it. So they weren't pretty much adding to it. And when you study the Bible, don't read the Bible like you're reading an English book. Don't read Bible in a Greek mindset. We think in Greek mindset now. Think Hebrew mindset. It will help you understand Bible a lot more. Shalom.
I was blown away by his answer. I had to call him. The moment I read the answer, I called him and I said, bingo, you've won. Send me a winning video right away. I'm sending your funds. And he did. Let's listen to his thank you note. Congratulations again, Mr. Benson.
Hi everyone, my name is Joey from Denver, Colorado. I just wanted you to know that I was on YouTube watching Zion Fallings, I believe is his name, and he mentioned if you go to tasteoftest.org and you answer some biblical questions, you get money for it, you get prize for it. And so I tried it and I won. I won the Pharaoh wizards question that was on there for $250. I won that, and I want you to know that that is legit. If you answer it and if you participate in it, you're gonna get your prizes. It's a very legit quiz YouTube show. So if you're out there and you enjoy answering Bible questions and digging into the Bible, Rabbi is doing this show and it's a great show. Like I said, I won mine. I received my money for it. Thank you so much, Rabbi. I hope that everybody out there will participate and then learn. Learn, and in the process of learning, you also getting prizes for it. So that's great opportunity, bringing to our own people. And like I said, if you're out there, participate. That is a great show, and it's legit. It's not, fake or anything like that. That is a real show that Rabbi is putting up. Shalom to everybody.